Hi and welcome awesome people to what is for now the final video in this series. It's been an incredible journey so far, and I want to sincerely thank you all for your support along the way. In this video, I want to briefly address error handling, as it's something we're only touched on with a comment, right here. Something that doesn't really provide clarity to the user. Moreover, I want to emphasize that error handling is a complex topic. It involves managing various types of errors, deciding how to handle each, determining if a retry is necessary, and understanding what exactly should be retried. This video barely scratches the surface, but I really encourage you to explore and discover the best ways to handle errors in our app effectively. And without further ado, let me show you a simple way to display an error when fetching journal entries. So the first time a user sees this screen, they're gonna see a loading indicator, and if an error occurs, instead of showing the cells, we're gonna show an error. So since our repository is a mocked kind of repository, the first thing that we should do is to force an error on that initial fetch. So let's go to our in-memory journal entries repository right here, and we have this retrieval function. So before mocking that forced error, let's modify a bit this retrieval function. Just comment this entire code and let's refactor it a bit. Let's take advantage that we have this new type throws kind of thing that appeared from Swift 6. First of all, let's handle the throw from this slip task. So for that, we need a do. Let's just copy this line. Let's catch it and throw the unknown error right here and return the entries if nothing bad happens. Moreover, I want to remove this type of error, the empty data error. Mostly it's up to you if you want to treat this case or empty entries as an error or not. But right now, I would delete this case. I would not treat that empty data as an error. We can delete this commented code right now. And right before returning the entries, we can force throw an error. So like just type throw.fetch failed. We should declare that case fetch failed. And of course, we're gonna get a warning that this code won't be executed anymore, but it's fine because it's just temporary. After we test our case for an error, we can remove this line. And if you are still in this actor, I would go to this repository error and define the specific string message that we should show in the UI when one of these errors is thrown. So for that, we can take advantage of computed variables. Let's just type var error message, type string, and now we will iterate over the self. And if we use this autocomplete, it will expand all the cases that we have right here. So for not found, we can return a message saying failed to fetch the journal entry, and same for the other cases. We're gonna just tweak the message. So for the unknown, we can say something like something went wrong, try again later, failed to delete, failed to update, failed to save, and failed to fetch the journal entries. Now we can just call this error message variable on a specific case, and it will decide what message the UI should display. And I think we have completed all the work needed in this file. Let's jump to our home view model because this is a place where the UI receives updates from. So let's go to our retrieval journal entries. Again, we have to do a bit of refactoring here. The do catch block here, remove this question mark, remove it here too, and remove this default value right here. So this way we can catch the error right in the view model, which is one step before the view updates. So here again we can use this main actor.run because we need to update the error on the UI on the main thread. And now we should declare another published variable above right here called published var error message of type string, and the default value should be nil. So when we receive an error from our repository, we should update this error message. So just type error message equals, and this is where you're gonna see the beauty of computed variables. You're just gonna have to type error.error message. And if we command click on it, it's gonna jump exactly where we declared our custom messages. No need to declare another function to map this error to a specific message. We have the message right here. This is really awesome. And of course, on the do block right here, when we have a successful fetch, we should just make this error message nil again. And that's all we have to do on the view model. Now let's consume this error message publish variable. Let's jump in our home view. Let's scroll down until we find this empty state view right here. Again, we have to refactor a bit this code. So else if let underscore equals view model dot error message. If we have an error message, you should show that error. Else if not view model dot check if data is present, show the empty state view. And right here, we should show the error state view. And for that, of course, we could create a custom error view, but to make our lives easier, we could use the same approach as for the empty state view. So let's just copy this entire block of code right below it and call it error state view. Copy it, paste it here. Now let's change the messages, right? So instead of no journal entries yet, we can say there was an error. Change the system image with x.circle. The description should be our viewModel.error message, otherwise empty. Let's make it bold. And for the actions, we're gonna have a button with a text saying retry. And for the retry, we're gonna copy some lines of code right from here. Of course, we need a task and copy all those lines right here. The only thing that I would do is change these colors. So instead of secondary text color, we should have an error color. Static let error color of type color. And let's just say that is the default red. Go back, put this foreground style right here with the error color. And for some reason, we still get the no journal entries yet. And this is a dumb mistake because instead of modifying the messages from the error state view, I modified the messages from the empty state view. So don't do it like me. Pay attention to your code. So let's just switch these namings right here. So this one should be error state view and this one should be empty state view. And there we have it. Because we forced a throw error, we have this different state right here. When we hit retry, we should see the loading again. But because we always force an error, we won't have a change from the error state to the good state. But if you go back to our in-memory journal entries repository and comment this line, go back to our home view, you should see that loading and the fetch is good again. And that wraps up this series. I'm genuinely thrilled we've gone through this journey together. If there's one takeaway I'd highlight from this app, is the value of our view model and the repository pattern with dependency injection. Imagine needing to transition this app to a permanent data storage solution like SwiftData, Core Data, or even file directory saving. You could simply swap this assignment and everything would work seamlessly. By the way, if you'd like to see future implementations using UserDefaults, file directory, or SwiftData, let me know in the comments. Until next time, happy scribbling!